fear what you don't know, 'cause we're far from certain fate. And we'll make our final stand, lost in the dark. We've come so far, another step to rid the pain. Go and be counted till your last day, 'cause only nightmares break their flames. So stand upon these fallen lands and follow in our Father's plans. Yeah.
And we are live.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
The base height on it's about a hand high, so you can actually mount it under a monitor.
Nice. I was today years old when I found out Netflix still had a fucking DVD by mail service.
People still have DVD players?
Like,
Yeah, it's called a PS4.
I guess the PS4, the PS5, and maybe the Xboxes.
That's my DVD player, is a PS4.
The Xbox doesn't do Blu-ray, and it pissed me off that way.
I mean,
it is sad, but I mean, physical media.
I like having physical copies.
I don't.
I understand physical media, especially for certain things in the age of going back and rejiggering movies.
The only thing I like having physical copies of is books, and that's because I want to hold something while I'm reading.
Yes,
but
it's so wonderful.
But like, if we honestly, if we stopped doing physical copies of, like, say, video games and whatnot, I would see the price drop. It would see the price of games drop. Yeah, because they could no longer
bastards wouldn't drop the price.
Well, they would have to come up with another reason other than production costs and everything for the physical products is hampering the profits.
I guarantee there's an envelope with a wax seal ready to go when that shit happens.
Yeah, unseal when physical media dies.
Here's the thing,
internet costs.
PS5,
that's what we're going with.
Digital version versus a, like, if you want the disc.
The
sick bastard that wants the disc.
Well, the funny thing is the funny thing is apparently the PS5 that has the disc tray and everything in it is stronger than the streaming version of it.
Makes sense.
So
in your faces for a system I don't have yet.
But then again, like, I have a computer. Why do I need a PS5?
Because I can't keep up with all the hardware because it's expensive as fuck and I'm poor.
I mean, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Imagine being poor.
But at the same time, it's like, I myself cannot justify spending $500 on a console for something I maybe play once in a blue moon. Because every game that I want that's like on PlayStation is also on PC/Game Pass. So
that's
it's
fair.
like,
and I replay the crap out of all my games, even if it's not, even if it takes like a couple years down the road, I replay all my games. So yeah.
Skyrim, what? Fable?
Oh, what?
Oh,
dude, Fable, where I do a yearly playthrough of the games.
I'm probably getting back into Skyrim because the team that did Skyrim together apparently got past whatever bullshit Bethesda threw into the mix.
Well, they got through that, and they got through a lot of the issues that they were running into on like host side games that were causing a lot of like the game breaking glitches. So
yeah, because it was fucking Bethesda and they're bullshitting it. I'm like, dude, like the thing is,
okay. To be fair, it's also on a Bethesda game that's what 12 years old now.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
older than that.
It's like, dude, you have the code in the game for multiplayer. Just drop a remaster with the multiplayer
12 years
code
old.
active. You don't even got to do shit.
Yes.
The Skyrim code is 12 years.
Yeah, November 11th, 2011. Jesus Christ.
And here I am doing a 100% playthrough on stream.
I remember. I feel you. I don't need a new Elder Scrolls game because I'll just keep going back to Skyrim.
Yeah, exactly.
I graduated that year.
Exactly.
Cameron, what are you doing?
You know what kills me, Fox? I remember working release day for that.
Yeah.
The original when it came out.
I remember missing work the day the night after launch because I may have been up for 13 hours playing the game. I was playing Oblivion until like the moment the release time hit on Steam, and I was just in Skyrim.
Great game.
Don't ask me how many times I've played BioWare games, specifically Dragon Age.
BioWare, BioWare games and Bethesda games have just like insane replayability, and I love it.
I replay the Mass Effect series a minimum of once a year.
Look,
sometimes 2 or 3 times a year.
BioWare, if you're watching this right now, if anyone that works at BioWare is in the stream right now, god damn it, for the next game, let me play a goddamn Krogan. I'm tired of being a human.
I want to be a Asari.
I just want EA to stay out of it so we can have the game that BioWare wants to make. That's what I want.
I want to be a Krogan.
BioWare, if you're watching Dragon Age 4, please.
No, J Meister.
That is Beric.
J Meister, I don't want multiplayer. I don't want multiplayer. I want single player Krogan.
I don't want multiplayer either, but I will say the multiplayer in Andromeda was great. I loved it. I thought the multiplayer in 2 and 3, complete garbage. They shouldn't have wasted their time on it.
I've never touched any of the multiplayers. I've never touched any of the multiplayers in Dragon Age. I've never touched it in Mass Effect. I had no interest in it. It was like, I'm here to play the single player game. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
We're having a camera misfires.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't, it's only with the Tuesday night. I don't know what is up, dude. It's like I do a whole stream on Saturday, no issues. For some reason, there's something with
Do you have
Tuesday
anything
night.
Do you have anything updating in the background?
There shouldn't be. I just did Windows updates yesterday.
Well, I mean Steam. Steam likes to fuck everything on Discord if you're running it while Steam is downloading.
True.
Steam is like, yes, these resources are now mine.
No active downloads on Steam. Oh my god, dude, why are you fucking acting stupid? All right, give me a second. I need to, because I have to kill Discord and relaunch Discord.
Yeah. You're all good.
God. Yep.
So, yeah, I've been playing, just like, doing a bit of vamp here while Ezrin's rebooting and everything. I've been doing a replay, not a replay, but a new playthrough of Skyrim, because I've got 34 achievements left before I can 100% anniversary edition. So I'm just going through that, and because anniversary edition added like a bunch of like fan created quest lines into the game, I've been like I'm like, oh, this wasn't here before. Yeah, I'm having fun with that.
It's just such a good game. It's
really
a meme at this point of them just re-releasing it over and over. But you know what? Every time they release it, I buy it. So
Same here. I can't get enough, even though I have 5.
Yeah, Rosa.
Of it.
Ezrin's restarting Discord right now.
How dare they?
Yeah, they like when they announced the new Elder Scrolls game, I'm like, it ain't gonna happen. It's just gonna be Skyrim again. They're just gonna call it Skyrim 2.
Well, not for like 10 years.
And you know what? That's all they need to do as well.
I'm okay.
They'll make a ton of money off of it. Just make a new version.
Well,
of Skyrim.
they're making money hand over fist with the ESO. So.
Oh yes.
It's true.
That's ZeniMax, isn't it?
That's ZeniMax, yeah.
Here we go.
ZeniMax is making, and the thing is like, I don't agree with their business model, because even though you buy the expansion, you then have to buy further content for like the future dungeons and stuff in said expansion.
I'm not gonna lie, that kind of turned me off to ESO. I was like,
well, it's like, it's either that or you get like their first subscription, which is, it's the monthly fee of $14.99, but that gives you access to the entire game, and it gives you the bottomless crafting bag, which, if you're anybody like me, that's what you pay for, because you're, big into doing all the crafting and trying to
oh yeah,
make sure that you've got, handmade, best in slot everything. Or in the case of Fallout 76, you have that endless scrap bin, so your stash weight isn't capped by all the junk and stuff that you find.
yeah.
Plus the private server is good too if you just want to farm and not really have to deal with anyone. All right, we all good now?
I think we are.
I think so. Hopefully.
It's stalling time.
Good stalling time. Okay, so last time we were together, the group decided to assist their new lizard folk friend in taking down a group of Yonti that were deeper in the forest in a long forgotten ruin. The story that you were given is that one of the Yonti matriarchs had come across some sort of rock that was granting them and anybody who touched it strange mutated like powers, while others were just flat out mutated into mindless monstrosities that were then released into the forests. This wasn't only limited to humanoids, as the group found out that they did this to a dragon, and that dragon became a 7-headed dragon, and it is something that is now probably the apex predator of the Howling Forest. But thankfully, after an encounter with a couple Yonti and in a likely encounter with one of them that was freshly turned from the stone, you are able to hide from this Hydra dragon. Afterwards, the Yonti gave you information as to what was going on, where you could find this egg, not a rock, and giving you the name of this matriarch that has been started to be called the Godmother, who she herself has grown to a gargantuan size due to the power that radiates off of this egg. You were warned that the closer you get to this ruin, the more guarded your mind must be, as to not let the whispers of promises of power and greatness overtake you.
Right.
And when we left off, when we stopped last week, Nalani had just killed the Yonti that gave you this information as a dire request of mercy, not wanting to fully give in to the madness that this snake cult had unfortunately thrust upon them, along with a amulet with a inlaid emerald meant for this Yonti's son who was still in Stillwood. And about 30 minutes has passed at this point in time after not the execution, but the mercy has been given to this Yonti. You're still tucked away a little bit into this natural hovel, just waiting to make sure that it's clear to exit after the Hydra dragon had flown off.
So I have a question.
Sure.
Considering where I'm from and my backstory, do I know potentially this Yonti?
This seems to be something that has only recently kicked in, maybe about at most a month ago.
Okay.
So you knew there were Yonti cults that sort of stuck closer to the region of the Howling Forest near the Bleeding Chasm because of the heat that emanated from the chasm itself. And while they did tend to kidnap wayward travelers or those who mistakenly wandered into their land, it seems to be something on a grander scale. They haven't really tried to intentionally make monstrous mutations and let them loose through the forests.
Gotcha.
guess at this point we're all just kind of
Yeah.
huddled down in here. Mia's probably looking to our lizard folk friend, waiting for them to give the okay for us to continue forward.
And you can see that Dai has like sort of like inched a little bit out of the hovel, and every now and then you see her tongue kind of like forking out from her mouth as she's like tasting the air. We should be safe to move. The creature is no longer within our proximity.
Do you think it would be good for us to continue moving stealthily forward?
Yes. As quietly as possible. Though, now that we have a bit of a foothold as to the location of the temple itself, I suggest we may begin to scout. See what we can learn from the temple. Guard rotations. Rough numbers of how many Yonti are still there. If they have any of these monstrosities in, well, for lack of a better word, their care.
Well, if we need to scout forward, I believe Kemek here probably has a friend that's quite capable of doing that, yes?
What?
You're familiar, Kemek. Your bird friend?
Yes, I, as a player, totally did not forget I had a familiar. I was like, what friend are you talking about?
What class am I again?
What am I? New character?
What's happening?
After 30 episodes? Yes, I can send Moonin forward, and I can see through his eyes as long as I'm about 100 feet.
100 feet.
100 feet.
That's going to put
100
you...
yards would be nuts.
That's going to put you dangerously close to the temple. I think at this point in time, it would be better to do it the old-fashioned way. Scouting parties. Teams of 2.
I mean, I could just dig us a hole and go underground and get a little bit closer, at least within the vicinity that I need for my dear Raven.
Well, I'm not really a scout myself, so I'm kind of deferring to you guys on this one.
Could just turn you invisible.
Unfortunately, I do not have that ability in my arsenal at this moment.
I said I could just turn you invisible.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Does it hide
no
body
buffer.
heat at least?
It's invisibility. It's not, rub yourself in cold.
I'm just saying, if, depending on the form of the mutations, they can pick up your heat.
They can pick up your heat. They can probably pick up your scent, in which case, it's
Exactly.
still not going to help you.
Exactly.
They have some that can also see magic.
Sounds like Kemek going underground is the best option then.
It's up to everyone. I mean, if the invisibility can work, we can also go with that. It was just one option. I just like to do a lot from underground. That's just my comfort zone.
Going underground, I assume you'd be using magic to move the earth.
Yes.
I think perhaps Dai here is right in that we should do it the old-fashioned way. We don't want to give our location away by sending a pulse out with magic. We don't know if there are any obelisks or anything in the area, so it could be bad for us.
I thought the egg canceled the magical pulse.
That's what we're under the impression of, but we really don't know any hard facts about it.
It's fair.
I want to study this egg.
As long as we don't touch it. This one is a no-touch thing. Believe me, I would love to study it as well, but we don't want to become monsters yet.
I think the egg kind of needs to be broken, so it can't create any more monsters.
Indeed. Unless anyone has any desire to be serpent-like.
Who amongst you is good at sneaking?
Decent at it. Wouldn't call it great.
Yeah, I'm pretty decent at being quiet as well, but it's the, scouting, observing part of scouting
Yeah.
that I'm not good at.
That's the reason I usually throw Kamek on my shoulders. They're great at seeing things.
I am
He's
very
better than I.
perceptive. It's just stealth I'm decent, but I wouldn't put confidence in me.
Okay, you don't have to stealth when you're up on my shoulders. So you're not walking.
Exactly.
Very well. Then I will leave you and your group to do as you must. I will scout ahead alone. I will meet you back here in a day's time.
Very well.
How much of a window you want us to give you before we presume something bad happened?
If I am not back within a day's sunrise, assume the worst.
Well, I may not be the stealthiest, but I do have things in my arsenal to assist those that can be better than I, depending on who decides on how close they want to get. For example, I could help Yuriko or anyone else that would like to get really close.
Well, if we're not all going forward with the scouting, then I will choose to remain here and wait.
I may be inclined to do the same. However, if I can get close enough, my companion and I have ways to communicate even when he is out of range. So I don't necessarily have to see through its eyes the moment he is scouting, but I could still send him forward.
For something that can see magic, does it look like magic?
If it helps, like I said, I have ways to assist, but does anyone have any ideas of their course of action? I imagine people like you, Azure Claw, perhaps are decent at doing some scouting, given your profession. The other one, not the gemstone one.
As he quickly checks his character sheet.
I was gonna say, check the character sheet.
Yeah, technically I have that. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yes. I was more doing an armor check, sorry. I was like, what the heck am I wearing right now?
Is this a good idea?
Is this something that gives me disadvantage?
That's fair.
What are you doing?
Technically scout if need be.
out of character. Whoever actually has like stealth proficiency should be doing the scouting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good at stealth, but the problem is that my perception is absolute trash.
Oh, see, and I'm the opposite. My stealth is okay, but my perception is amazing.
Listen,
Hence
neither
third.
are amazing here. You're just gonna have to cope.
Well,
You-
Azure Claw, why don't you go with our friend here?
If you so choose. I wouldn't want to split your group up unless it was entirely necessary. I'm a capable enough scout on my own.
And what are we to do in the meantime for the day?
Prepare.
Is it right now?
You know what's not a good feeling?
Can you step on a D4?
Your D4 going into your foot.
Ow!
Okay.
Why are there D4s on your floor?
I dropped it.
Ah,
It's one of the
Same
sharp
reason.
ones.
Same reason why I'm surprised HB Fox hasn't stepped on one on how many he's lost.
Oh, I have.
Oh, never mind.
When I've been making dice, I've stepped on those sharp edge ones. Not a good time.
No.
oh god!
Literal
like wild.
literal caltrops.
Nope.
Prepare. Do what you need to do. Get your minds ready on the assault.
No.
That is something we can do.
Yeah.
Just whatever you do, do not let yourselves be discovered.
We'll
Very well.
do our best. Maybe Kemek can make a little cave for us to hide in or something.
I can certainly do that. Although that will involve a little bit of magic, but if someone's willing to put in the work, I can do the details and conceal it if people don't mind digging a little hovel.
Well, we know in this area anyway, we don't seem to really send out a pulse. We don't know about closer to this egg, but right now, in this area, we should be okay with using magic.
Very well then. I'll make us a perfect, comfy little hovel. As y'all made fun of me for mold earth, but guess what? This is what Kellic does.
I didn't make fun of you.
I'd make fun of
That's
the mold
true.
earth.
Nope, mold earth is always good.
You know, when you dig a lot of graves and catacombs, kind of a handy cantrip.
Oh, what's wrong with digging up bodies?
Nothing at all.
Exactly.
Never. Nothing
Kevin's
ever
already
bad comes of
revealed
it.
the like the massive amount of catacombs like underneath the ground that we stand on. So you know, you dig deep enough, you'll hit one. But I don't think we're going that
A
deep.
concerning amount of catacombs, one would say.
Yeah, Chemic's second home. We're not gonna
You'll
go
be
that
fine.
deep though. So Chemic will
Deep.
start finding a good spot first. That's kind of like well hidden. It's not so obvious. And start making start digging.
Okay. And as you start digging, Dai excuses herself and begins to head into the forest, moving forward with her scouting mission.
Let me check something really quick before she heads out. 'Cause I think. Oh wait, I think it has a time limit on it. Actually, it doesn't say it has a time limit on it.
What?
When I use one of my temporal points. Yeah, because I have 3 options. 2 of them have a time on it. The third one does not. But gain advantage on dexterity checks.
Oh, it's like cast it on her.
Yeah, the first two, it's just like, hey, your next action. The other one lasts for a minute, and this one does not have. I assume it's maybe your next check, probably.
Or yeah, I would assume that it's probably like it's the next check, and probably like it dies down in an hour or something.
Yeah, you know what?
Could still be
Yeah.
useful for her.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to spend, I think it's 2, or is it 2 for myself? I always flip-flop them. Nope, 2 for other people. I will spend 2 temporal points, and I will go ahead and make a little mark. It almost looks like a little rune symbol on the lizard folk, and give her advantage on her dex check.
Okay. She gives you like a little respectful nod.
Hopefully it helps.
I will take any help I can get.
We'll be here then.
Please do not die. It'd
I'll
be
try.
counterproductive for me to come back and only find corpses when I need able bodies.
I've not been having a very good record at the whole not dying thing recently, but I'll do my best to stay alive.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
And she heads out into the forest, leaving you all to your own actions. So, Kemek,
Can make it work.
which direction are you using mold earth in to dig this little hovel?
I don't think I want it. You know what? I think what I might want to do is face it in the opposite direction of where the egg is. That way, when I do it at an angle, if we need to, we can see if anyone approaches from that direction at an easier angle.
All right, yeah, that's definitely something that you can do.
And funny enough, how tall is Nalani again? 7 something?
8 foot.
8 foot. Probably going to attempt to dig something maybe 9 to 10ish feet, but it's just gonna be like a little hovel. It's just big enough to fit us with a spare couple of people, and it's gonna be at an angled kind of a tunnel going in, very small ramp, I guess would be a better way to put it. So we can be concealed comfortably.
Okay, so how many feet down are you going before you form the hovel itself?
Not very deep, actually. I would say probably about 4 to 5 feet at an angle.
Okay, so like a 4 to 5, like a 4 to 5 foot ramp that goes a bit deeper as it goes down, and then you make the little 10-foot hole. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Can I get a survival check from you as you are doing this?
Yes.
Can I ask how big you're making the opening? Because if you start making it really big, Nalani would suggest making it so we have to crawl through the opening, so there's not a lot of space for someone to try and follow us in.
Yeah, I was gonna make it. I'm trying to accommodate the taller people because Kemek is used to it just being them, which they don't mind, crawling through. So big enough for you all to kind of either crawl or kind of get on your knees. Because I don't want it to be this big, obvious, like, look at us.
Yeah.
So yeah, and of course gonna disguise the hole part of it so it's not an obvious hole as well, but we'll get to that once I do this. So
Build stairs.
I could. It's magic. I could make stairs.
Make stairs, and then just make a big hole under the ground.
Suddenly
Like a
we're playing
mine shaft.
Minecraft?
Yeah.
We're playing Minecraft. Okay, well I've got pretty good survival and I rolled pretty mid. 18.
Okay, 18 is good. So you go down perfectly fine. The earth seems to hold stable enough as you go down, making this like 4 to 5 foot long ramp, and then you form the 10-foot dome inside the earth.
God.
Actually, you're gonna need to go down at least 10 feet, because if you got a 10-foot dome, yeah, so you're gonna have to go down about at least like probably about 11 or 12 in order to get that dome fully formed without disturbing the outside.
Yeah, I think now that I think about it, yeah, because I don't want the ramp to be too angled, and I'm gonna have to dig deeper down. So I'm going to mold earth to make little steps so we can get up into that little ramp. So we're not like, all right, everyone climb out.
Okay.
Because we're gonna have to dig deeper down. So
Right.
yeah, we'll do that. That's fine.
Yeah, with an 18, you can do that perfectly fine. But you're able to construct your little hidey hole for the time being.
With Nilani's assistance and anyone else who wants to kind of help disguise that front part of that hole so it's not a very obvious like hole. Maybe, I mean, it doesn't even have to be completely covered. It could be like maybe a bush in front of it, or maybe disguised to look like a smaller hole so it looks like maybe an animal lives here, but just to at least get rid of
I
that.
can help with that.
Yeah, so if you guys want to work on hiding the whole entrance, you can definitely do that. Are you relying on one person to do it, or are you going to make this a group thing?
Maybe a group thing.
Yeah, because Kemek instinctively would probably ask Nilani for help, and then anyone who wants to assist, because Kemek's not like whispering this melee. It's
So
like, I need help.
if we're doing this as a group thing, I need everybody who's going to be participating in hiding the entrance to give me a survival roll.
Oh, shit. Am I good at survival? Let's find out. Oh, I am not.
I mean, I'm decent at survival.
I'll
Doesn't
take
my
that
dice like
roll.
me.
I'll take that roll.
Okay. So, Yuriko, did you help?
Yes, it did.
Oh, what'd you get?
22.
Mia, did you help?
Yep, I rolled a 17.
Okay. Milani.
I tried to with a 7. I'm more gotten everyone's way.
Deckard Bane, what'd you get?
It's I, Deckard Bane. I rolled a 16.
Nice. Azure Claw?
I will not be helping with that.
Okay.
I know better.
And Kemek, you didn't help because you were digging the hole.
I dug the hole. I did my part.
Okay.
Fucking Kemek.
Look, Nilani's used to the mountains, not this foresty shit. I tried to put a giant rock next to it.
I will say that you made a decent hole. You made it a decent enough hole, so you don't really anybody passing by probably won't give it a another look.
I will keep Moonin out on a branch nearby, as kind of the lookout.
Okay. So he's just perching up there, making sure nothing's coming in.
Pretty much, yeah, as a warning system, and being up kind of high, will give us a decent chance to at least hide better if we need to.
He's your motion detector.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So he just flutters up onto a tree branch and just sits there like an inconspicuous bird.
Yep. Doing bird things.
So now that you have your hidey hole made, it's a bit dark in here. Though,
Lantern.
what's that?
raccoon lantern.
The raccoon lantern, that's true. You all have your little lanterns.
Yep.
Not me.
I don't know what everyone else is doing, but as soon as this place is finished, I'm crawling in, kind of going to the back corner, lifting the hood on my lantern just enough to give me enough light to read by. I don't want to create too much light here. And I would like to spend just the entirety of this time continuing to study that booklet that came with the coalesced mana crystals that I purchased for making that one into my arcane focus.
All right. I'm going to say that you're going to need to do that when you are in a more secure location. Out in the wild probably isn't the best time to do this.
I mean, that's fair. I'm not trying to make it my focus yet. I'm just reading how to do it.
I know. I'm just saying, like, out in the wild, these types of things are not really, you know, it's kind of like, you know, trying to ride a bike in the indoors in Pokemon, and Professor Oak tells you it's not the time to do that.
God damn it, Oak.
There's a time and a place. Now is not the time.
I wanted to do it earlier, but I kept dying, so I couldn't.
Maybe you should try not dying.
I have been trying that very hard.
It's a Herculean task for Mia.
It really is.
Even more so now with the reduced stats.
Oof. That's right.
Yeah.
Sounds like a skill issue.
There's a reason why I'm going to be sticking in the back until we level up.
Yep. Oh, finally, she stays in the back. Unlike my companion over here, I can read just fine in the darkness. So since it's been a while since we've had a lot on our plate, I will be reading more of my language book.
So it's the same thing. It's like it's there's a time and place to do it, and this is not the time nor the place. Skill checks are like anything skill based wise is like skill increase wise, I should say, is not something you can do out in the wild.
Stop trying to nerd.
You got two nerds in the group. What do you expect?
What a nerd.
If that's the case, then they will instead, because they can't read their journal either, you know what? They are just gonna go into anthropologist mode and just kind of be super nerdy in front of everybody, as they're going to start sifting through the dirt and looking around and kind of just doing anthropology stuff in the dirt.
Perfect. Can you give me an anthropology nerd role here?
Yes, actually, let me read my feature real quick if this does anything.
Can we stop digging up creatures in the
When
ground?
you enter a ruin or dungeon. Well, I don't know if this is a ruin yet. But I could determine the builders apply double. Okay, this may not apply here, but that's okay. I was just seeing if my background worked here. What am I doing? What anthropology check am I doing?
This is gonna be, I would say, straight intelligence.
Straight intelligence?
Or no,
Yeah.
nature, since you're sifting through the dirt and everything.
You said the magic words. Oh, I've statted this character so weird and it's worked in my favor.
Not anymore.
24.
24. So you're like sifting through the dirt and everything, and you begin to find like flecks of like exoskeleton in some of the dirt.
I collect.
And like you begin to sift through it more, and this dirt, before you came down here and sort of just molded it and everything, you realize that the earth itself had been worked, like something had passed through it.
Mm-hmm.
And you may have like collapsed like a tunnel or something when you molded this earth.
Even better, I'll study the what the exoskeleton may have perhaps belonged to.
Okay.
If it was a bug or any kind of
Uh,
creature we probably don't want.
this is gonna be another say another nature roll.
Okay. Okay, that's even better. That's a 26.
Ooh. Okay, so being who Kemek is, and the amount of times that they've spent tromping around in catacombs and tombs and other places of dead people, you are very familiar with the make of like this piece of exoskeleton. It's like the shedded remnants of a corpse worm.
Ah, yes. I'm sure Kemek being in catacombs has experienced these many a time.
And just like they sound, corpse worms are known to feed on dead bodies. They are, for all intents and purposes, the eaters of the dead.
This weirdly gets Kemek really excited. Like, oh, there's dead bodies nearby. Potentially.
Yeah, because every time you've come across like corpse worms and everything in your adventures, it's always because there is a mass grave around, or there is some sort of structural failure in a catacombs to where they've gotten in. It's they're drawn by mass quantities of death.
So they're excited that there's either a bunch of dead bodies buried somewhere, or they're closer than the catacombs than they originally calculated. Because I mean, they're not all straight; they're all over. So yeah, this just excites Kemek, and Kemek's just gonna keep kind of sifting through it. It also gives them something to do, so it's just like they're in their element right now. So
And like as you trace through it, you realize that the back wall of this little hovel that you dug, if you go a little bit deeper, you would possibly enter into where these worms are at.
Don't you dare do it.
as much as Kemek wants to, kind of keeping a wary eye out of snakes and potentially not being a snake themselves. So they're going to log that information away, but they will give the courtesy to turn around and instinctively tell Nalani, because that's just how it's always been, and go, Nalani, be careful. We're actually, we might be pretty close to catacombs. There's some of those corpse worms might be close by. Keep an eye out.
Good to know.
They might be over in that area, over on that side of the wall. So just keep an eye out just in case. Found some fascinating exoskeletons over here.
Of course you did.
I'll keep looking to see what else I can find.
Glad to see you're enjoying yourself.
Been a while since I've dug. It's very relaxing.
How'd I have? We have been surface traveling for a while.
Yeah, we have. Too much air up there.
Yes, but a lot less dead bodies.
I know. Unfortunate. Unless you find a battlefield that hasn't been buried yet. Oh well. It goes back to digging.
Where are you digging near the back wall, or are you just like sifting around the ground?
I'm still sifting around
Okay.
the ground. I don't want to kind of disturb and cause a mess, because we're trying to lay low. I don't need a worm fight right now, potentially. I'm like, nope.
Every now and then you find just like a piece of like discarded bone. Like a rib bone here and like a tooth there, and looks like a femur.
Yeah, because again, Kemek's this is just fun for them. This is just meditative. So
Okay.
yeah, that's just what they're doing to kill time.
A little time passes down in the hole. Mia,
Yeah.
as you're sitting down here, just waywardly passing the time, you feel a bit of a song start to seep into your mind. Very soft, very lulling.
Is it like, does it happen gradually enough that like it's not something that I'd notice at first?
Yeah, at first you think it's maybe just something like a song that's just stuck in your head that you heard in a tavern maybe at some point in time, but it slowly but surely begins to get louder. And then there's a voice that calls out to you. Little death-prone one. Fallen so far from such a illustrious heritage. Burden you care. What brings you into my forest?
Is the voice one that I've heard before?
No.
I'll respond to it, but I'm gonna do it out loud so that everyone else is aware that there's something going on.
Okay.
And I'll just kind of say it out quietly and in my mind at the same time. What brings me to your forest? I live here. I'm just returning home.
I've never felt one like you in my forest. Where do you live?
More to the eastern edge of these woods. Perhaps that's why we have never met before. I'm sorry, what's your name?
That
Mia,
would
who are you talking to?
that would explain why I haven't introduced myself yet down there. I'm currently limited on my reach.
And where in the forest do you reside?
Well, where you're at now, I reside all around. More of a natural essence than anything. I've noticed you, the trauma that you carry, the sorrow, the regrets. It's not something somebody should carry. Makes you a target for beings that have ill will towards your kind.
I have noticed that to be the case, yes. I feel that target growing ever larger, but you aren't putting a target on me, are you? You're just here for a chat?
I am like you. Wounded. Anxious, regretful. Trapped.
Trapped.
buried away to where I cannot even see the sun.
Is there anything I can do to help you?
You alone, probably not. I'm kept away. More of a prize than a being.
I see. And forgive me. What did you say your name was, or title, or what are you precisely? If that's not too rude of a question.
I've been denied a name, a classification. I don't even know what I am. I've been locked away since my first memories. My only contact is with wounded individuals like yourself, those who share in my trauma.
And have you helped them in any way, if you've had contact with them?
I've tried, but it always ends in disaster.
Disaster.
A disaster which I cannot prevent. Unfortunately, I have been responsible for the demise of many. Not that I sought it out. But unlike the others, you travel with friends.
I do, yes. They're good people, reliable people.
Would you and your reliable friends be willing to help me?
I think we're all, or at least most of us, are happy to help those in need, those that are deserving of it. Where might we find you?
I can show you, but I would need you to allow me deeper into your mind. What we have right now is barely a surface level connection. I understand if you are hesitant, a stranger appearing in your thoughts and then asking for access to your mind. It's
Yes, I
off-putting.
allowed one access to my mind recently, and it did not go well. I suppose two, actually. I have allowed access to my mind. I should really be more cautious about that. Maybe if you're familiar with these woods, you could just verbalize some directions for me. I don't mean to be untrusting of you, but I am just being cautious.
Directions. I don't know these directions, but... And you can feel that they're sort of struggling. I am north of you.
North. Okay. That's helpful.
You are underground at the moment.
More or less, yes.
Why are you underground?
Hiding from the monsters in the sky.
Monstrosities.
With many heads.
Poor creatures.
Are you aware at all of your immediate surroundings? Are you being held by a serpent of some kind?
I do not know precisely where I'm being held. I cannot see my prison.
I see.
Mia.
We're kind of headed in that direction. So I'm sure we'd be happy to help if we are able to.
As you hear Kemek call out to you.
Kind of look directly at Kemek as I
Who are you talking to?
I just kind of like point to my head.
What is it this time? You be chatting with someone trapped somewhere, letting them know where we are.
I don't think I had to let them know. They already knew.
Well, details to a minimum then.
I'm doing my best. Trying to understand who or what it is I'm speaking to, but they sound like they need help.
I'm sure it does, reaching out to those so it can be freed.
Your little goblin friend is right to be suspicious, but I don't mean any of you any harm. I just need assistance.
And if we find your prison, how exactly do we assist you?
You could let me out.
By destroying your prison?
See, I don't know what my prison is.
Right.
I cannot see. All sounds are muffled. My senses are deprived.
If
you feel it sort of like strain a little bit. If you go north from where you are at, you should find a chasm. One that you can pass through into Catacombs. You mentioned serpents before.
Yes.
There are serpents that come and go through that cavern. Disposing.
This is helpful. I think perhaps I have an idea of where you may be, where your prison may be. It might be good for you to preserve whatever strength you have. Maybe reach out again if you feel I'm approaching. Let me know that I'm headed in the right direction.
I could connect with you, but again, that would require more than just the access that I have to your mind now.
Right. Whatever you're doing right now to reach out to me, maybe just do that again in, say, 6 hours' time.
I can do it now because there are roots, and I can see through the roots. Where you're heading, I'm not sure.
I see. So you're connected to the woods themselves in some way. Interesting. I'm afraid I can't give you more access to my mind currently. I must remain cautious. We're headed into dangerous territory. However, that doesn't mean that I'm turning you away. We are headed in the direction that your prison may be, and I am more than willing to help you if I can.
Maybe if you reach out to me, maybe I can connect with you that way.
I can certainly try. I'll try when we approach the landmarks that you've mentioned to me, I'll see if I can connect with you again in some way at that point. But just try to...
I've got to go. There's a commotion. Something's going on. And like your connection just ends.
Well, I think this just got a little bit more complicated.
Do tell.
Well, you heard my half of the conversation.
Yes.
This entity, this voice, whatever it was, I think it is connected to these woods in some way. I don't know if it is held within this egg that we're after, but I think there's a chance that it may be.
As in, perhaps it's the egg reaching out.
Stargana, thank you for that raid.
I mean, there is, of course, a chance that it's just entirely coincidence, and it has nothing to do with the egg or these Yonti. But it would have to be an awfully big coincidence for that to be the case.
Or it can be trying to play you for a fool.
That as well.
Yeah, too much of a coincidence to lure us closer and be sacrificed to this egg.
It's the
Hard to say.
thing, though. It didn't really seem like it was trying to push anything upon me. It seemed like it was just genuinely asking for help. And the help that it was asking for kind of aligns with what we were already going to do.
More convenient for you to trust it that way when it doesn't ask or push for it.
Which is why I denied it further access to my mind.
Smart. You're learning, Mia.
Well, I'm crippled. I'm being cautious.
Fair. Can't afford to have your mind taken over or accessed
Again.
at the moment.
I wanted to make sure that you were all aware of that happening to me. I don't think I had to speak out loud. I think I probably could have responded to it in my mind, but I think it's good for us all to be on the same page about everything going forward until we're in a more safe position. I think it was able to make contact with me. It said something about the roots. I think us being underground, closer to the roots of the forest, may have aided it in some way. And, well, it was attracted to my trauma, apparently. And there's plenty of that, so...
Yeah, you need to stop dying.
Well, I need to stop doing a lot of things.
Yes. I have compiled a list I can share with you later.
No,
I have
that's
notes.
quite all right.
Well, in the meantime, whether this creature, being, whatever it is trying to influence you or free itself, whatever it's trying to do, I suppose we can figure it out when we get closer, but it wants us to move underground further.
Yes. I don't think it necessarily gave us any direction in that regard, but it did say that it was north of us, and if we go in that direction, we will happen across a chasm of some kind that will lead us to some catacombs.
Well, not wrong there. There are catacombs everywhere.
But there will be more Yonti-type creatures in that area.
Of course.
Which is why I'm inclined to believe that it is connected to this egg in some way.
Or the egg itself reaching out to be manipulated, but...
Something within the egg, perhaps.
Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm not really inclined to move from this position until our other companion has returned.
Agreed.
At least for now. What does everyone else think?
I don't think anyone else does think.
If
We're
we
the only thinkers
move,
here. This is
we
why
might
wait.
leave them behind.
Hmm.
Yes, and I think we could certainly use their skills going forward, so it would probably be best for us to wait.
Agreed. It'd be rude otherwise.
We need to know what they're scouting. That information is going to be highly valuable to us going forward.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, if it reaches out to you again, let us know. Have that lovely little one-sided conversation that's not weird at all.
It's sort of becoming the norm for me, which in and of itself is rather concerning.
A little bit, yes.
I suppose the more trauma one receives, the more open their mind becomes to ones that would connect with such trauma.
Or use
Good
it
to
against
know.
you. As a way to manipulate. Be careful.
There's that as well.
Go back to digging my dirt.
Okay. So the rest of the time down here sort of passes without really too much of a incident. No strange voices reach out to anyone else. Kemek continues to play in the dirt and every now and then finds either a discarded bone or more like flecks from the carapace of a death worm. But aside from that, nothing seems to happen. And it gets along a little bit more in the day to where hunger starts to set in.
Crack open the raccoon thermos.
Yep.
Yep. You've got your you pretty much have the magical Campbell's thermos, so you can definitely do that.
Hooray for brain juice!
As much as Nolan would like to cook, this is not the time nor the place.
Why do I picture Scion just like pulling out like a Capri Sun and just like sticking like a straw in it and just like sipping it through the holes in his helmet?
I somehow pull out a brain and put a straw in there.
It's kind of like just bringing out a coconut and stuffing a straw into it.
Yep.
I feel like you'd have to use like a slushy straw or like a boba straw.
Yeah, boba. That's what I was thinking, the boba straws.
Like a metal boba straw just so it could puncture you through like the skull. Yeah. No, but Scion does have the slurry that he got back from the cabin, so to hold over any illicit urges to try to, break open anyone's skull here for a tasty midnight snack.
Yeah, fuckers be grateful.
I mean, if we say brain juice, I'm sure the thermos will accommodate.
I paid you not to eat me, sir. I paid you a lot of money not to eat me.
This is true. You were paid 400 gold, so that's 400 days of safety.
And all I can think of is iZombie.
Jesus.
Oh my god, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I started rewatching that series.
Last season was kind of weak, but yes, good show.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ending was horrible, but the
It
rest
was.
of it
Yeah.
was good.
Agreed. Aside from that.
So, is anyone taking watches for tonight?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Nope.
I've got my burb outside.
Look, I had to ask.
Fair.
Look, I got paid, so I might as well do my part.
It's like, no, Roger, we're gonna chill in the death hole where the corpse worm is chilling and not taking any watches. because that's gonna turn out good for us.
I mean, it could. You could just leave it to fate. Because fate
And
has
when has that
fate
ever
has
worked?
been so kind to this group so far.
I'm saying I don't trust it at all.
Okay. So who is taking watches tonight?
Probably will take
first-
one with someone. Probably with
first
Kimmick.
or-
Kimmick wants to watch.
First or last, since I only need I have all my spell slots, so
Okay. So who? Let me ask this: who is actually taking first watch here?
Take first
I'll
watch.
take first.
Oh, man.
Okay, that was like multiple people saying it.
That was. I'm not volunteering for any watches, but real quick, I should have mentioned this earlier. At some point during the day, I would have liked to have used my arcane recovery.
Okay. All right, so whoever is taking first watch here.
I'll flip you for it.
That's fine. You can take it first.
All right, so Yuriko, where and how are you taking this watch?
I am pretty much going to be in the center of this hole that we're in, just so I'm aware of anything coming through a wall or something behind me, and hopefully I'll have an easy view of anything coming down the hole. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep myself centered, and that way I can have access to as many walls or encroachment points as possible.
Alrighty. Can you go ahead and just give me a straight up percentile roll here?
Sure, I'll roll a 1 for you on percentile.
Perfect. That's all I need you to do.
Because I'm pretty sure that's a thing that'll happen. It's not happened before. It's I'm pretty sure there's video evidence of that happening to me. So it's oh look, I need to roll percentiles for erosion. It's 1%, and it's the bad 1%. 67.
Okay. So the hole seems to be doing its job as it's keeping you safe from any search parties or anything that may be topside at the moment. Nothing really happens during your watch. It's non-eventful and boring. But you're safe, you're warm, you're not being stabbed or hunted, so, all in all, plus.
It's actually not bad considering, all the hell we've been through recently.
True.
Who am I waking up for the next watch?
I think it is Chemic.
Yeah, you can wake me up.
Yeah, no, I's gonna watch with Kimmick. So.
Okay.
Cool.
So Chemic and Nalani, where are you two positioning yourselves for this watch?
I have a bird outside that I can see through.
Yep. And every now and then you check the CCTV that is your bird, and it's boring. There is literally nothing around you.
Good.
I definitely want to keep an eye on the wall that the corpse worms might be in.
Okay. Can one of you, I don't care who it is, give me percentiles?
Sarah, you want to roll? Last time I rolled something for the group, it ended horribly.
Yep, they're all
I'm pretty sure I died when you did that. Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mia died to exposure.
Yep.
67.
67. Decent watch. Nothing happens. Even watching your bird outside, peering through its eyes, you see a little bit of wildlife going by, but nothing alarming.
If that's the case, Scion, did you say you were going to take watch?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll wake up Scion next.
Okay.
Then.
Scion, where are you positioning yourself for your watch?
So, you know where the hole is?
The entrance?
Yeah, the entrance.
Uh-huh.
My head's just gonna like poke up.
Just this full plate helm just kind of like poking up and just like doing a little 360, little periscope.
Pretty much.
Okay.
So, all right. I'll roll again.
Yep, give me percentiles.
Why not?
Oh fuck.
He's like making little
99, sir.
he's like making little like radar noises as he's going around in a circle.
99, sir.
99. Very nice.
Ugh.
So, Scion, while you're up and about, there's a brief moment where something is coming through the tree lines, just thundering.
Oh shit.
And you can see something that's like practically invisible, but you can make the outline of it, kind of like, you know, a predator running through the jungle. And it looks like it's making a beeline for the hole. And all of a sudden you feel something sort of like tug you down underneath the ground and the hole itself seal up. And then there's just like this howl of frustration as there are a few thuds into the ground where the hole was, but nothing seems to be breaking through it. And as you look down at your foot, you can see that a large root had wrapped around your foot and pulled you down to safety.
This root is alive? Or did I just trip?
No, it's like wrapped around your ankle and it pulled you down.
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice. I just look at the roots. I got nothing to go. Like, get off me.
And as you say that, it kind of unravels and like slithers back into the soil.
Say thank you to it. And then I'm like, okay. Huh. I guess I go back to the group and let them know there's
And
something outside.
as you-
but don't go out there.
As you start going down the corridor, you can hear just like an audible slithering of roots behind you, as it seems to be, they seem like all these roots come out of the soil and begin like crisscrossing with one another, like blocking the path up, giving you a bit more security.
How nice of them.
Hope we have enough oxygen.
My name is Scion. I speak for the roots.
Jesus, not only is he a combination of Deckard Cain and Bane, he's now the frickin' Lorax.
Yup.
Too bad I'm not a druid.
But you're able to get back down into like the main like 10-foot little hovel that Kemek had hollowed out.
Cool. Is there anyone up?
Everyone else, I would probably say the only one up that would be up at this time is anyone that only requires 4 hours of sleep, which I think is possibly Yuriko.
Yuriko's human.
Here goes Human.
Okay, I didn't know because
I don't think
being
any of us do.
because I didn't know if it was like, you know, a warlock, you only, you know, you had the messed up sleep schedule too.
No.
Okay, so yeah, nobody's awake.
Well, if that's the case, I'm just going to sit on the stairs and sleep.
I did mention I would take a watch.
Oh, okay. Then I will.
I just have to be woken up for that watch.
And I will kick you awake.
Thud.
Why? Rude.
Why? Rude.
So Azure Claw, as you awaken to begin to start your watch, you can see that the little exit tunnel that you once had is now entirely just sealed off by like just a tangle of roots.
When that happened?
Just a little bit ago. I was pulled down by roots and they somehow closed the hole. They seem to be friendly.
At least more secure now.
Do you inform him of the creature that you were saved from?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's also a bird outside.
What kind of bird?
Don't know. Couldn't get a good look at it.
No, it wasn't a bird.
Oh, it wasn't a bird?
No,
Oh, okay.
it was invisible, sort of like Predator invisible, how you can see the predator running through the jungle. And it's just like that shimmering outline. It was just like a large creature in that outline just rushing towards like specifically the hole that Kemek had made.
Yes, that, the fourth wall break. I repeat that.
Okay. Well, since obviously we're not getting out and whatever that was is not getting in, I will park my butt and do my watch.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me those good old percentiles.
55.
Okay. So due to the reinforcements of like the roots and everything, nothing too big happens in the happens during your watch inside the hovel. Everyone is well protected, leading to a very boring and uneventful watch.
You know, sometimes that's okay.
You weren't attacked by bear throwing giants or anything like that this time, so.
Or giants throwing bears.
Yep.
Or yeah, bears throwing giants would be much more concerning.
No bears.
Well, in that case, once we have something that resembles morning, I will poke people awake. We're lacking in nature.
Yeah, I was gonna say go ahead and give me a nature roll to see if you know specific like if you can correctly determine when morning would be.
Yeah, I can give you survival, but that's no, that's not a better. This is all wisdom. I can't help you with that.
Go ahead and roll it for me anyway.
That's an 11.
Okay. 11 is good enough. You may like have let everybody sleep in about an extra half hour, but you're morning on target.
Okay.
as everyone awakens to see that the roots are now blocking the entrance slash exit of your little tunnel.
What what's that all about?
Roots.
Yeah, but why are they there?
Happened during Scion's watch.
What happened then?
Large bird.
No, it wasn't a bird.
Wa-
It wasn't a bird.
Was not.
No.
Was not a bird. It was a what?
An invisible creature.
A large invisible creature. Good. Good. But roots protected us.
Roots. What are
Mhm.
these roots?
Roots are alive.
Yeah, Kemek, as you look over to the hole that leads into the hovel, you just see this just mass of intertwining roots cutting the tunnel off.
What is this? Was this here all night?
Only part of it.
All right. Well, I suppose we should try to remove them. I was not alerted by Moonin about anyone approaching, so I think it's clear for now.
Yeah.
Nalani's gonna go up to the roots and kind of, with her hand, she's gonna feel along them to feel if there's at least some sort of airflow coming down from to know how panicked we should be about these roots.
You don't feel any air.
Slightly concerned look on my face. I'm gonna look back at Kimmick because she's used to sharing everything with Kimmick. I don't feel any airflow. Did you just build us a new tunnel?
Kemek, do you have to be awake in order to have contact with your bird?
No.
Oh, so they
Only
have
to dismiss it if I wanted to.
Okay. So that's my bad. I thought you had to be functional in order for it to act.
No.
So when
it basically acts like a pet until I dismiss it.
So when that creature started, trampling towards the trampling towards the hole, your familiar started relaying the information to you. And then there's just like a brief moment where the connection is severed.
He's fine. Did I see something attack him right away, or did he try to fly off and someone shot him down, kind of thing?
From what it looks like, he looked like he was about to take off, and something made contact with him.
How much damage was done to him?
Enough to kill it.
He's undead. He has the ability to come back.
He does, but that undead trait only saves you so much.
I know. This poor bird.
There's just a point in time where that undead trait, you can't roll high enough to to come back.
That's fair. Yeah. Well, whatever it was, it took out Moonin. So
also possibly be prepared for a fight when we exit.
There's
I would say so, just to be cautious.
as that this conversation is going on, Mia, you have another touch on your brain or on your mind. I'm so sorry. I panicked. I didn't know what to do. I had to make sure that your friend was okay.
I had my suspicions that you were behind this.
It's not good up there. Whatever is up there is still up there. It's just waiting for you.
I see. So it might be best for us to travel underground if we can, then, although it might be hard for us to figure out which direction we're going. I'm sure Kemek can handle it.
I can. Also, message from your friend as I point to the roots.
Yes, the roots were there doing. They saved us, I suppose. Saved Scion at the very least. And whatever was out there is still out there, most likely.
Right. Well, we can go further underground.
Didn't you say there was worms or something under here?
Yes, corpse worms.
Is that going to be a problem?
I mean, don't die.
Listen, I can't promise that at this point.
Exactly why I'm telling you specifically, don't die. They tend, for the most part, to leave the living alone, usually. But they're animals. They
I
can
will say,
attack.
since you have knowledge of them, you know that they don't leave the living alone. The only thing that they ignore is the undead.
Oh shit, and I have a spell to make us all feel like the undead.
Oh no.
Finally, you're
I
useless.
don't know it yet, but there's a spell in deep magic to make us have the aura of undead.
Lets you cosplay undead.
Yeah, pretty much. It makes
Yep.
you feel like you're undead.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have to walk
basically
around
like-
like we're zombies? Because I'll fucking do it.
It's essentially pass without a trace, but instead of cloaking you, you're just undead.
Yeah. It just makes you appear undead to creatures. So
Yes.
any creature that would either be repulsed or would ignore the undead just pay no attention to you. They're just like, hello, fellow zombies.
The other part of the problem is there's no air coming down into this hole. So wherever we go, we need to make sure we end up somewhere that has air.
Who needs to breathe?
I think most people.
Oh, right.
All of us.
All of us.
Sorry, I live underground. I'm used to stagnant, very little air. So
Chemic's just like, oh right, I'm not a lich yet.
yeah. Well, I unfortunately do not know the spell yet to give us the lovely aura of undead. So, unless you're undead, the worms will attack. So, I would say be cautious. And again, don't die. They love to eat your corpse. Love it.
You know, our friend nearly did that as well, so that's also starting to become a very concerning theme for me.
Yes. So I would be wary of the worms. If we're going to dig further, I suggest not in that direction where I suspect some of them are laying quiet. So we'll go around if we have to.
Well, our benefactor clearly thinks that this would be the safer option.
Of course they do. Look at them
So-
forcing us to go in a direction.
Well, I don't think they're necessarily forcing us, because you could just dig another tunnel up. Right.
Yes.
But if they say that thing is still out there, then that's something that we should keep in mind when we choose which direction we're going to go.
And
Like
what
to
about our
point out-
lizard friend?
There's
Sorry,
that
Lily.
problem too.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say the same thing.
Well, if our friend is as perceptive as I would like to believe they are, I'm sure they will see whatever tracks that this creature has left behind and the mess that it surely left on the surface. And they'll know that, well, because there isn't blood everywhere, that we managed to get away safe and sound. If you can make like a very small, like, tube to the surface almost, I can send one of my paper messengers up there for our friend.
See, I think we have been around each other too long, because I was actually just about to suggest that. Yes, I think that is doable. So long it doesn't get shredded by whatever is up there.
Hopefully it'll be small enough to escape notice.
Well, let me know when you're ready and I can open and close it.
Yes, actually, if I could have a few minutes, I'm going to do a number of things that will increase my survivability before we go forward.
Okay, I suppose I should have some breakfast while we wait anyway.
So I already did the math here. I used my shield thing, got my HP down, then used a second level and a first level to bring my HP back up to 40 out of 41. Close enough to max.
Okay.
And then I will write a note for our lizard folk friend. And I will describe in the note what happened with this invisible creature, and that we are headed north. And I'll also describe the chasm and the catacombs that we're headed towards. I don't know if it's going to reach them or not. I'm just going to hope it does. But after writing that note, I'll fold it into let's go with a centipede shape. And then use my animated, what's it called? Animated scroll to send it up a little tube-like tunnel that I hope Chemic is capable of creating up to the surface.
Yeah, because it's up to 5 feet of space at a time. So yeah, if I wanted to make a little hole, I could do that real quick and then close it as soon as it's released.
Okay. Do you know if the message received it was received?
I have no idea. I just send it on its way and hope it reaches its destination.
Okay. I was wondering if like you got, you know, like a return notice letting you know that the person got their magical email.
This
Read
one's just
receipts
kind
turned
of
on.
a fire and forget type of thing.
Okay. So you're able to like craft your message with the little paper centipede and with the little hole that Chemic makes. It's able to crawl its way up to the surface.
Let's hope that reaches its target, and I suppose as we go forward, lead the way, Chemic.
So before we do that, it's getting to be about 9:30 here, so we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, get up, stretch your legs, all that fun stuff, and then we will be back for more secret tunnel adventures.
Secret
tunnel.
Okay, we are back. So, friends, what's the plan? You're in a tunnel with limited air.
I mean, I'm fine.
For now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't remember any, goblin racial traits saying doesn't have to breathe while underground.
When Kemek dug this tunnel, they dug the entrance to it facing a specific way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so we at least know our orientation based off of that.
Yes.
I also may always know which way is north.
That's always good to know.
Even if underground?
I mean, it says you always know which way is north from the feet, so yes.
I would have I would have assumed that would be something that you had to be outside for, but I guess that makes sense.
It doesn't say, so it's like maybe the magnetic field in the earth.
You just
and
get
air.
lucky and you just guess every time.
I'm just that good at guessing.
Look, north is just the direction I'm facing, okay?
Oh, I also have navigator tools, so
those I don't think would help you
underground. Yeah, no.
I mean, I'm just saying I have backups when they work.
Yeah, I think we're relying on Kemek right now to
Oh, that's right. We have
dig
to
us
go
a tunnel.
Okay.
I think we're all just standing there staring at Kemek.
If we want to, it is a semi-slow process to do this. So if anyone has any digging tools to at least help assist, that would be great.
It's not a tool per se, but there actually might be something I can help with.
Oh.
As I remember, as the player, that I have the wear bracelet, or I've dubbed the wear bracelet, or maybe it was the wear bracelet, I don't know. I can offer a blood payment and willingly turn into a lichen form or a were creature of player's choice. So I could do something like a were mole and dig.
A were a were mole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I approve of this.
There is a chance the curse becomes permanent, but let's do this.
Were badger.
So Lonnie will pull out her dagger, and people have seen her cut her hands, arms, legs many times. She's gonna cut her hand like she usually does and place her hand on her bracelet, which then starts absorbing some of the blood, and she's going to think of a were-mole and turn into a were-mole.
And all of you watch in horror as Nalani places her bleeding hand on this bracelet, and there's just like an audible slurping noise coming from the metal bangle, and her body begins to like contort and bones begin to pop and break and reshape as what once was an 8-foot tall Goliath is now just this giant looming 8-foot tall mole standing on 2 legs.
That checks out.
A little bit alarming.
Just a little.
I've seen worse down here.
I mean, there's surely worse around. You just don't see your friend turn into a giant mole very often.
Nolani, I will tell you this, since this is not technically a curse form at the moment, this is a willing form, you still can speak common.
Okay. What direction we're going?
Okay, we doesn't do that. This way.
I'm gonna start trying to dig.
As I help with, of course, Molder.
Dig a hole, dig a hole.
I feel like
Okay.
she's standing like right in between me and where the
She's
dirt's
just-
flying.
Chemic's just on your, like, riding on your
Yep.
shoulders, just as you're digging. Mold earth is going, like, off to the side, making sure nothing capsizes.
I'm not gonna give you
let's go
uppies. You
tie
gotta
it
climb up because we gotta watch the claws, and then I'll dig.
Chemic,
like
Chemic using her friend as a pneumatic drill. All right, so which wall were you digging through?
Whichever one Kimmick pointed me to, that was north.
Um,
As long as that wasn't the blood, the curse form
I was
wall.
gonna ask, which direction is the corpse worm facing?
It's the back wall. So it would technically be,
Like southish.
is south-ish, yes.
Okay, then yeah. Since we need to go north, we will head north. Knowing that that's kind of where the Yuan-ti reside, I think what Chemic might do is every so often, just a little bit, dip a little bit deeper because they doesn't want to accidentally hit something and then part of wherever their camp is, whatever, kind of like collapses on them. So just kind of making sure that they're not getting too close to the surface just in case.
Okay.
They don't want to go deep. They just every so often just kind of
Milani.
like a little dip.
Yeah.
Can you give me a survival roll with advantage with a +7 since you are in weremole form right now?
+7's gonna be a 25.
25. So you're able to you are just shredding through the earth. This is just, day at the beach for you. And you go probably a good 2-3 miles north, like dipping down every now and then, following Chemic's instructions so you don't cross any sort of anything that would make the tunnel itself structurally unsound. But you come to a stop as your claws scrape against brick. And you're staring at like a brick wall, just like right in front of you.
Let's see how deep this is. Give me a moment, Nalani. As I kind of shift the earth around a little bit, just basically doing the mold earth kind of way of like using a brush and moving the dirt to the side. Just like, let's just inch our way back and see where this goes. Where is this from?
So you're just like doing it along the wall itself.
Yeah.
So
Not too far, but just kind of see like how far this is stretching right
it
now.
looks like it's stretching a decent amount. And judging from the way that it's built, it's probably about a 9.5-foot wall that goes on for a little bit. You have a feeling that you hit one of those catacombs you were thinking about, or one of those underground tunnels.
Ooh. Okay. Give me a second. I think what I want to do. Oh, I can move stone. However, it does become difficult terrain. Yes, you can cause the ground to become normal terrain and shift it. Oh, okay, that's what I want to shift it.
You can move stone. You cannot move brick.
Right.
Do we want to try and go up and around, given that we know the Yuan-ti are in some of these catacombs? Or could be.
Yes, because if there's a wall, they don't traditionally build walls from the surface down. It's more of just kind of a gate for the wall structure. So we can attempt it. I think we're roughly 20-ish feet underground at this point, so we've got a nice amount of distance away from the surface just in case with some wiggle room.
Where I probably back up some and go tunnel just a little off to the side so I can get myself a ramp going up to try and go above the wall.
Okay.
I think we're gonna
I
first
help.
try maybe go roughly 10 feet up.
Now, are you just gonna go up and over the wall, or are you gonna begin to like go along the pathway that this underground tunnel is seemingly pointing?
I think the plan is to keep going north, so up and over.
Okay.
If there's catacombs on the other side, it's more of us trying to get into it.
And once I'm up at the edge of
Okay, so
where...
if you're trying to get into the catacombs itself,
Mm-hmm.
you know, if you were to punch through this wall right here, you would be inside.
Yes. However, noodle arms. So, Nilani, we could go up and over and not desecrate the dead. Or do, I don't care. Or we punch through the wall.
You know how I feel about the dead.
So punch through the wall, go over it. It's really one half dozen or the other from you and how you feel. If it makes you feel any better, to my knowledge, there's no undead on the other side.
I still don't want to touch the dead. That's how they become undead. We've gone over
Okay,
this.
how about this? How about this? Because I'm helping you out. Just get us through the wall, and if there's any bodies that start to fall, I've got the dirt ready to catch and move to the side, so you don't have to touch anything.
Look back at the rest of the party to see if they're in agreement. So we're not just...
I could ram through the wall if you want.
I think we let the armored one do it.
I mean, because he's much larger than Kemek, and we built like a small tunnel. It's not like, you know, comfortably for all of us to fit through.
I mean, the tunnel's large enough for me to fit through.
Exactly.
It should be big enough for him.
So Kemek, just to move out of the way so he can kind of get in front of the line, molds earth into the wall behind them, sinks into it a little bit, waits for him to pass, and then steps forward.
Okay.
Meld into stone. How about meld into dirt?
All right, let's see here.
So you're attempting to just break through this tunnel right now.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. This is just going to be a straight up strength roll then.
Let's go. All right. Fucking mint. 23.
23. You run and you slam into this wall, and the bricks sort of jostle a little, but you kind of just hit the wall full force. A little bit of reverberation going through the plate mail here.
Oh boy.
You're going to take about 5 points of bludgeoning damage as you just throw yourself into this wall full force. And you can see that the bricks have given way a little bit, but they're still structurally sound.
God damn it. Fine, I'll do it again.
Kool-Aid Man.
I am gonna fucking into this shit. The only thing, whatever, just don't care at the 20. Hey, that works too. Nat 20 for 24.
Okay.
Hey.
So let me roll here for the wall. All right. So you run and just leap into this wall, and there's just an audible like boom as you break through, and you go tumbling through the debris onto the other side. You're only going to take another 1 point of bludgeoning damage as you break through, like leaving a scion-sized hole behind you. And you fall down probably about a good 3 feet. As you get up and dust yourself off, you look around and you're just a long, straight, like brick-like tunnel going off in both directions.
I have created your way.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
You know, I could have helped with that, but yeah, you looked like you were having a lot of fun.
and I'll kind of I'll clean it up a little bit to make it a little pathway and make sure that there's no bones anywhere for Nalani to touch, so we can make our way.
There's no bodies whatsoever in the dirt.
Well,
or like indentations in the wall to where they would put caskets or lay bodies to rest. This is just a solid brick tunnel.
Well, when people think catacombs, they think bodies wall to wall. That's not true. There's a lot of tunnels. To have them be completely filled with bodies would just be ridiculous.
Bit of disappointment in Chemic's voice with that one.
Well, at least it
sad.
appears
More
that
people need to die.
This tunnel, this hallway here, goes in the direction that we were headed, so that's a bonus.
And I'm going to come out of my were form. And go
Can you
through.
roll me a d20
Yeah.
as you try
Yeah.
to break out of this were form?
Just a straight D20?
Straight d20.
That's a 15.
You're good. So you think about your original form, and again, popping and resetting of bones as you reform back into the Goliath that everybody knows and loves.
If you got stuck as a mole and we fed you that cookie that turns you into a kid, would you be a baby mole?
Yes, I would.
I'm just saying that's like out of all the were things to get stuck as. Sorry, not a mole. That's just saying.
Yeah.
There was a book series I read, and this one guy was there's like lycanthropy is a thing. So there's like were-panthers, werewolves, blah blah blah. Well, there's this one guy that was uber cursed, and he was the only one of his kind, and he was a were-swan. I'm like, why?
Why not?
Oh, good times. Right. I guess at this point, are there any torches lined along the walls, or is it just straight walls?
No, the tunnel is lit rather well. Like every about 10 feet, there's another lit torch sconce in like bracketed up onto the walls.
That's make me feel good.
Oh, that means it's an active tunnel. Be on your guard, everyone. Well, we are pretty close to, if not already underneath, where that camp is, wherever the egg is being laid, so I wouldn't be surprised that this is active due to those Yantis, so keep an eye out.
At least with all this light, nothing can really sneak up on us.
That we can see.
That we can see.
Saw that smirk. Rojan.
You didn't see anything.
Don't think I didn't notice. Chemic, weirdly enough, will still lead the way. One, because of knowing position, and second, just being completely and 100% comfortable where they are.
I'm perfectly comfortable following Chemic.
You know what? Just in case, I'm going to use a temporal point and do a similar symbol that I did to the lizard folk, and give me that within the hour to do a dex check, because if I need to evade some shit that pops out of nowhere, I need that extra oomph. So since I'm apparently being a frontliner right now. So
Okay.
yeah.
Give me a second here.
Makes me worried.
Ooh. I won't do it yet. The urge to detect magic is strong.
Wait, you actually have detect magic now?
I do. I picked up that book. Still didn't pick it from my spell list. I bought it, read it, put it in my tome.
Okay. So you begin. So are you still heading north or?
Technically, yes. Following the tunnel in whatever direction it really kind of forces to point us at right now, since there's, for the time being,
It goes
singular-
both directions.
Like
Which-
north south or
which way are
east
they
west
pointing right
or
now?
What's that?
Sorry, Alana, go ahead.
I was gonna say is that when you say both directions, are you talking east to west, north to south? Because we were heading
That's what I
north
was
and we
gonna say,
ran into
which
the
direction?
wall, so I kind of figured it went east west.
You would assume.
Okay. I say go that direction because we know the northwest area was where the rooms we were heading to were.
I mean, I'm not expecting this tunnel to go perfectly north. If we want to be, that direct, we just bust through another wall and keep going. But this is a known tunnel, or active tunnel at the moment, so it may lead us to where we need to go, potentially.
Could you use your little friend to go scout ahead for us?
I need about 10 moments, 10 minutes to bring him back, but I can do that. Which is odd. I have referred to him as similar to a canary in a mine, and he didn't quite like that. He didn't like being called a canary. But he's done it before for me. Just don't call him a canary. He'll peck you.
I don't want him touching me, so I will not refrain from calling him anything.
Yeah, he knows better than to touch you. So I will take a moment then, and I will go ahead and ritually cast, and I have plenty of this shit. To bring back my poor little Moonin.
So you try to ritually cast down here, trying to summon your familiar, and it doesn't purchase. Moonin should be here.
You said that egg nullifies magic.
It nullified the pulse.
What if we got closer to it? Do you think it nullifies magic?
I think anything is possible.
Well, no, that's not true. I would have been able to have mulled earth. Interesting. Moonin's not returning to me. Something is blocking him. So I guess that idea is out for now. So we'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way.
What's the old-fashioned way?
Walk and look with our eyes.
I'm good at one of those things.
Sometimes.
The walking part?
Yes.
That's why I'm up front. I can also see better. Even in the dimmer light, I can see a little bit better, so. Unless anyone has any other ideas, I suggest we just go in one direction and see where it leads.
Yes, and it would probably be good for us all to stay relatively close to each other.
Yes. Let me double check this real quick. Mia,
Yes.
are we attempting to go towards this egg right now?
As far
is
as I
what this
know.
person is. I have a spell that may work. But only for 10 minutes. What's the range on this? Oh no, it has to be known to me. Damn it. Can't use locate object. Damn it. Never mind.
Does it have to be known to you, or can it be?
Says it has to be describe or name an object that is familiar to you, and you can sense the direction within 1,000 feet of you. This spell can locate a specific object known to you as long as you have seen it up close within 30 feet at least once.
Interesting. Sorry, that was interesting. Something I did on a map right now just completely wonked the background.
Oh, alternatively, the spell can locate an object of a particular kind, such as jewelry, furniture, tools, weapons, etc.
Trojan, apparently we're except for you, we're all a bit low.
All a bit low. Okay, give me a sec. Let me turn you all up here.
Yes, I suppose a bit of a dilemma that we're facing right now is we know the direction of the thing that we're seeking,
Yes.
but we don't actually know where it is, so we don't know how far we have to travel.
That's why I wanted to use this particular spell.
Yes, but
It's worth a shot.
along that line of thinking, if you spot like a root or something sticking through this brick wall, do let me know, and perhaps I can use it to try and reach out to our new friend.
I mean, do you want to hop back through the hole, see if you can spot a root?
No, I think we should travel forward a bit further, but once we've done a bit of traveling, then we can, see where we're at, hopefully.
Also, since this is an active tunnel, we should probably get away from the giant hole we just busted through and made a bunch of noise with.
That as
I'm in
well,
the process
yes.
of covering it right now.
We still made a ton of noise.
Put up a bit of a wall. I was already planning on doing that before we left fully, so I'm like, just cover the wall. It's gonna be like Zelda. There's like a place there, you know something's behind it, just cover it up.
Just don't mind all the bricks and rubble and stuff that we left on the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, I can use the dirt to wrap around the brick and bring it up, so it looks like
pick up all the. Just pick up all the books and put them into the bag of holding so no one can see the bricks.
Yeah.
That way, no one has to carry a ton of bricks. Literally.
It's fine.
So, which direction we're heading, Kimmick? Since you're in the lead. East, west?
The one. Well, we can't see where we're going. We don't know how far down it is, so.
Nope.
If not north, then west.
All right.
Rojan's distracted.
No, I'm listening.
Oh. I wasn't sure. So yeah, north or west if there's no north option.
Pretty much that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
So you walk down this expansive tunnel, every now and then coming to a twist or turn right and left, and it begins to lead you just through miles of underground. So you don't come across any living creatures down here. Everything is bright, everything is lit, but there is no life. Until you come to a corner in the tunnel, branching off into a right-hand path. There's a bit of sunlight gleaming out of the tunnel's exit. And standing on the opposite side, you can see the shadows of two creatures sort of conversing with one another before walking away from this exit.
Think we just found some Yanti. Maybe. They seem to have walked away. Don't know if there's a shift in the guard or what, but they were by the exit. I would be careful.
Yes, should we give it a minute to let them get some distance and then approach the exit?
Yes, that would be wise. Especially if they are doing a shift in guard, we'd see them. Some other shadows probably approaching. I'd give it a couple minutes.
I'm also starting to wonder if this is one of the tunnels the gentleman mentioned to us before I killed him.
Possible.
Yeah. So it sounds like we'll just wait just a couple minutes before we slowly progress forward and take a peek.
Okay. Who is leading the group now as you come down this tunnel?
Found us out. Do I want to be up front still?
I mean, Nani would have been right behind Kimmick in the front for the most of this, and she was leading our way up to this point.
Yeah, I mean, if no one else wants to take over, if Nalani comes with, Kemek would
I'll
be
do it.
okay. Okay.
No, plate mail cannot do it.
It'll be fine.
Click,
Yeah,
click, click,
yeah,
click,
Nalani
click,
will
click.
go. She'll offer to go forward and take a peek for everyone.
Okay.
Fine, you can go ahead and die. Whatever.
Nolani,
You know what?
how are
I
you
don't want
approaching
Clinky
this?
Clinkerson. Stealthily, to start with.
Okay.
So she's going to kind of squat down and try and make herself smaller because she's giant, and move forward. And she just kind of wants to, kind of watch for shadows as she moves forward. And if there's no shadow, she doesn't see anything coming, she wants to kind of poke her head out to try and get a bearings on where we're at.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a stealth check here.
Don't screw me over. Well, that's not that bad. That's an 18 stealth.
Let me roll.
For the record,
Okay.
while this is happening. Oh crap, no. I'll wait. I'll wait till she sees something. Never mind.
Now can I get a perception roll from you?
That's gonna be the fun one. Which one of you? Try this die. That's gonna be a 17.
Very nice.
Saying that's a -1 for me? Yes.
So Nalani, taking you to a map.
Oh god.
As you look
Where am I?
out, you're down at the bottom of the map.
Bottom. I don't see anything. Let me refresh roll 20.
I just dragged and dropped your character sheet down into the
There it goes. It loaded now.
as you look
It was
out.
a me problem.
Okay. As you look out, you're looking out into a small, almost temple-like structure, though there is sand all about. Tropical plants that aren't resident here, I guess. Nothing that would belong to the forest that you had previously been in. It's also rather warm. Almost uncomfortably warm. In front of you, there is a small pool of water that surrounds a raised platform. On that platform is a central altar with another one of those Yonti with the snake-like arm in front of it in a bit of silent prayer.
Alrighty. I'm going to are they the only Yonti I see?
The only thing you see.
I'm going to back into the tunnel ever so slowly to return back to my companions and relay to them what I saw.
Okay. So Nalani returns to the group.
Do you think that was the godmother?
No, I think she'd be a lot bigger.
Size is irrelevant.
I think that was one of the things that caused that monstrosity.
And I mean, we were told that the godmother is so large that her snake-like body literally coils around the perimeter of the room.
Doesn't mean she can't change size at will.
That is true.
So still proceed with caution, but did you say this looked like a Yonti? Or a snake person?
A Yonti. It was one
Okay,
of the
what's
Yontis that you previously encountered, the ones with the snake arms, the one that did that guttural noise up into the air that summoned the Dracohydra in the last encounter.
Mhm.
One of the pit masters.
That's the word.
Mhm.
I mean, we were told there's tunnels that lead into where she is. If we're in their area, we might want to follow the tunnel the other direction.
Would it be beneficial, maybe, if I tried to reach out to our new friend?
I hate to say it, but it's worth a shot. I almost feel like I want to take out this creature so it doesn't call for backup. But if we're able just to walk away from this, that might be also a good move. But let's see what this friend has to say.
So I'm gonna look around the area that we're kind of hunkered down in. Is there any spot where kind of earth is poking through the brick wall or brick floor? Anywhere that just isn't solid brick?
This tunnel seems to be rather solid itself.
Right. Well, this doesn't give me very high hopes, but it's worth trying anyway. So I'll just kind of concentrate for a moment on the feeling that I felt when we connected previously, on that familiar sensation, and try to mentally reconnect with it.
Okay. What do you say?
I think I'll just kind of reach out and be like, we're in the catacombs, but I'm not sure if it's the right ones.
I'm I'm not sure what to tell you. I can't see you.
Is there any sign that you could give us? I mean, we found more of these snake people, one of them anyway. Um, I don't know if we're in the right vicinity, if we're even going in the right direction.
I don't, unless I could see you, I wouldn't know.
Hmm. Well, I suppose we can still connect with each other, so that's a good thing. We haven't gone too far. I guess we'll keep trying to go forward and hopefully find a better way to reach out to you.
Ask them if they know about this room, maybe.
Is there any chance that you know about an altar room? What was that ruckus that was happening when we spoke last? Were they doing something to you?
No, not to me. Something got them upset. I'm not sure what it was.
When you tried to help people that are in distress, like you mentioned before, how do you do that?
The same way that I did it with you. I touched their mind.
I see, and they let you in, and that's perhaps the difference between where we're at right now and the
I
amount of help that you provide to them.
I was able to guide them when they let me in. At that point, I could see them. Always.
I see. Well, I don't think I'm quite ready to take that step yet. We're gonna
I
push forward and
I think I was moved.
moved.
I'm warm,
Warm.
but I still can't see anything. My prison is now color, but I see nothing through it.
Maybe we are headed in the right direction then. We're headed towards warmth, towards heat. I don't know about this color that you speak of, but we're going to keep pushing forward. I don't think we can stay where we are for too much longer. I'll reach out to you again.
Okay, please do hurry.
We're trying. We're trying.
If I see you before you, as soon as I see you, I will contact you.
Okay. We'll be there. So it doesn't seem that they can really provide us any direction at the moment, unfortunately, not without me giving them certain concessions within my mind, which I'm not ready for. So maybe we just keep going the way we're going? If this creature ahead of us, if we need to take it out, I do actually have something in my arsenal that can silence it for a time. Maybe we can take it out before it screeches for another mutated dragon thing to drop out of the sky.
It does. Claude, do you have more of those javelins? Because maybe we can hit it before it knows we're there.
I do have some, yes. As to how effective they'll be, I don't know.
It's better than trying to run up on it at first.
Fair.
Is that the plan then? Are we going to try and get the jump on this guy?
I think that's the best idea.
Someone
I'm
do
just-
remind me to restock Von Javelins, though.
Good to know. I have a small concern. Didn't we see 2 shadows? And you only saw one person standing there.
Yeah.
Where is the other?
Maybe they left.
Maybe you're right, and it is a change in guard, and we can take this guy out before the new guards show up.
I don't think we'd be that lucky.
Well, we never really are, but I mean, one day luck has got to be in our favor, right?
Or we can just make our own luck.
That's the title of one of the Mass Effect episodes. Sorry. we make our own luck. We all got the station wagon. If someone wants to go up and try to take them out silently,
Zoro,
for
you're
example-
you're still coming in a little bit low.
how about now?
There you go.
Much better.
Okay.
So I was gonna say, like, I have you at 100, and you were still like
Oh God.
peeking out.
I had her at
a
like
li-
160.
yeah, peeking out like a little low on the
Oh shit.
on the
Sorry.
noise gates here.
Very
I'm actually
uncharacteristic
loud.
of you. Please stop.
Playing a character that's softer spoken than me. Depending on who wants to go up and perhaps take them out quietly, I could give them a bit of a boost. And I don't know how comfortable some of you feel, but if Yuriko wants to go invisible and take them out, at least wherever that other being might be, won't see her. As one option, anyway.
Yes. And like I say, I can take its voice out of the equation, so it doesn't screech like that last one. But I do need to be within 30 feet of it in order to do that.
I can help
I
you
can
with
be
that as
invis-
well.
I can be invisible for up to an hour. As long as I don't do anything aggressive, I'll stay that way.
Make other people invisible, because I think right now it'd be most beneficial to get Mia invisible. And close.
Depending on who wants to go forward, I can make a few of you very fast to get there before they even spot you.
Well, if you can increase our speed, then I can make Mia invisible. And then when she does whatever she's going to do,
How
we
fast
can
we're
run up on
talking.
it.
Yeah. Let me read this real quick.
Because those of us without range, maybe we can run up on them when Mia gets the silence off, and
Yes.
we take it out before it knows it's that we're there.
We just need it to not screech, so whoever goes, Mia will definitely need to be in the front to get close enough. And again, I can affect a few of you with this speed. So perhaps, maybe Mia, you could be one of them so we can get you there, because we can silence it before and it calls the creature. That would be incredibly helpful.
I could always carry Mia part of the way, and then she can jump off from there and run ahead. Invisible, hopefully.
And as long as I can get within 30 feet of it, then I can hit it with this spell, hopefully. I mean, there is always, of course, a chance that it resists it. And that's a chance with almost any magic. But,
As
I
you're
like our
having
odds.
as you're having this conversation, the room itself that you're in begins to tremble a little bit as the light outside turns like this palish red for a brief moment, and then there's a flash. And as this flash happens, a scream of pain tears through the area as it begins to mutate into multiple screams, deeper, some high pitched, and it just becomes this symphony of pain.
Well, I got to inch closer to see what the hell's happening.
Well, if Mia's getting close, considering her reputation, I'm just going to cast invisibility on her. Don't do anything aggressive.
Try not to.
Does the spell go off?
The spell does go off.
Okay. I wanted to make sure because the ritual failed before, so.
And I'm going to slowly move forward so I can see what the hell is happening in there now.
All right. And as you inch forward, you hear the splash of water. Like a very heavy splash, like something large just landed into the pool itself. Get you your character token here. But when you get there, there's nothing in the water.
Oh, bitch is gone.
Is any of the water being displaced as though something invisible is standing in it?
Give me a you know what? Go ahead and give me a perception check.
You know what? That's not bad, all things considered. 14.
14. Down at the base of, like, right at the surface of the water, you can see the small ripples around what look to be like 4 legs.
Does it look like perhaps these legs, even though I can't see the legs themselves, that they might be particularly thick? Like this is possibly a large creature, a very large creature, or something of moderate size. Like how, I guess the points where the ripples are coming out from, how far apart from each other are those points? That would probably give me a rough idea of how big this is.
Go ahead and give me a nature check.
Now that's something I can do. That's intelligence. Yeah, that's going to be a 22.
You're looking at possibly anywhere from a large to huge creature.
Oh.
Okay, and that that Yanti that Nalani said was there, they are not there anymore?
They're not there. And as you sit there and you stare at them, you begin to see the light kind of twist and shimmer a bit where this creature is standing, where it comes into full view.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Yeah, we could turn around. It's cool.
No.
Though one of those heads is very familiar, as
Oh,
it's
no.
Dai's head.
No.
Oh, what?
I'm sorry, that was the name of the lizard folk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wasn't there for the episode, so I don't remember.
We're all like sad and groaning, and Chemic's like, who the hell's that?
I don't remember them.
Like, is it sewn on or something? Like, we're going like
No,
human
it's
centipede style,
no,
or...
it looks natural, like it's a natural fusion to the body.
Is the
Like,
map supposed to be mostly black?
So did you like get
Um,
cursed? Is he dead?
That's
I
just the
don't get it.
border.
Huh?
That's the border. Or I should say the board. I'll zoom into where like you only see the so chat only sees the map itself.
No, I don't look at us when
You're just
doing
gonna
it.
have to zoom. You're gonna have to zoom into it because of the dimensions of the map.
And if it's not showing up, you may need to
Refresh,
refresh the
yeah.
page. I had to refresh the page as well, but I can see it all clearly now.
The rain is gone.
Mm.
Sorry, I'm old.
Yep.
good song. That sucks.
Oh, there we go.
If you need to see the token again, there you go.
So which head is hers?
The central head.
So she was captured and taken to the egg.
I take it she didn't get the message.
I mean, she may have, but you know, it's a piece of paper. It's not going to help her.
It's a piece of paper. It's a piece of paper moving at the speed of a caterpillar, so probably not.
So fucked up.
Are any of the heads looking at me as though they see through the invisibility?
Not really. They all seem to be drinking water at the moment.
Okay. I don't want to alert this poor thing of my presence, so I'm just gonna stand very, very still.
Seeing as how magic does not alert them, Kemek is going to mage armor real quick.
Okay.
Except did you go forward with Mia?
Yeah, the only person who would see this is Mia.
I mean, I heard noises. I'm concerned.
True, there was that
Mage
spooky,
armor.
the spooky red light, the screaming that turned into multiple screamings. Yeah, it's probably a good alarm to mage armor.
I need to see anything to know that I should probably.
Yeah, shit's about to go
Probably do
down.
this.
Mage armor.
Yeah, mage armor.
You know what I should have done while we were sitting in that dirt cave all day? I should have transcribed a message into my book so I could tell you guys about what's happening.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah.
You could, fold up some paper and send it to us.
You mean
You
that
should
book
use
that
your
I gave
caterpillar
you?
message.
That's the one.
The one that I'm like, hey, this would probably come in handy. And you're like,
No, I was very grateful to have it. I just didn't find time to transcribe it yet.
Remind me, do you guys have communication stones?
we do. We have sending stones.
You have sending stones.
Oh,
That
so-
Nalani and Kimmik
But
certainly
Nalani
have.
and Kemek have them right
Yeah,
now.
no.
Yeah,
Nalani and
that's
Kemek,
right. Nalani and Kemek
yeah.
have the walkie-talkies. That's it.
The rest of us don't.
If we had remembered, we might have actually given one to Mia before she left.
And I feel a disturbance in the force.
Seeing as how you can't see Mia at this point in time, no.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and I think all the spells that I have right now that could actually alert you guys to something being up all have vocal components. And that's not really a chance
come
I'm
on.
willing to take at
Make
the
some
moment.
noise. See what happens.
You know,
You
this
know
is
what?
why a sorcerer is great. That one of the powers you can choose or the meta magic where you're just like, I don't have to talk to
Maybe
use
if
my spell.
my stats weren't lowered at the moment, I would take the chance. But
Oh, that's right.
I don't want to
That's fair.
die again.
You don't want to make death number 4?
You know what though?
Go on.
Guess who wrote message in their book?
You?
If you want to send me a message so I could respond, I'm happy to respond to it.
You have to respond verbally to message, though.
You can
Yeah.
whisper.
You could whisper.
Could whisper, but there's 5 sets of ears standing right in front of me.
Give me 1 1 second. Let's see here. Um. Let's see here. I'm just trying to see. It's like, yeah, I think you have to. It's verbal. It's yeah. Oh, it's sending that you can say in your mind. So
Yep.
yeah, message is all verbal. Um.
How far back from me is the group right now?
They're probably about 30 feet back.
About 30 feet back? Okay.
Mhm.
And they can't see what's in front of me, but if I look back, can I see the group?
If you look back, since you were like pretty much in the like the archway of the thing, yes, you can just make them out.
Okay. I'm gonna do some magic because this spell does not require verbal components. I'm going to look back at the
Before you
group.
do that, invisibility, this invisibility, Azarin, is it until you use an action or what is it?
It's standard invisibility. Hold on. It's
I think it's till you do harm or attack.
Yeah, as long as you're not doing anything that counts as an attack, I think you can cast as long as again it's not aggressive.
Yeah, if you're not being hostile towards something, right?
See here. Creature you touch
Also,
becomes invisible
hold on.
until the spell ends. Anything the target is wearing or carrying is visible as long as it's on said target. The target ends for a target that attacks or casts a spell. Yes. That's
Okay.
that's what I wanted to make sure of.
Whoops, sorry.
Yeah, no, so I'm not gonna do that. Because I assume as, you know, a somewhat intelligent wizard, I would understand that would break invisibility.
Yeah. No, invisibility 101. So yeah.
Mia,
All right.
if you're in danger, throw a rock. It's a distraction.
Is there a small pebble on the ground near me that I could pick up without moving from the space I'm standing in? Like a pea-sized pebble or something.
Give me a D10. Not a D10, a D20. Just a straight up D20 roll here.
A 19.
A 19. There's a debris. You know, there's a bit of like harder. There's a bit of like somewhat stone inside of it, but it's also like you'd also be grabbing like a handful of sand along with it.
Now this thing is looking down at the water that it's drinking from, so hopefully it doesn't look up at the most inopportune time. I'm gonna just pick up a handful of whatever crap is in front of me on the ground that I think I can throw 30 feet. I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna throw it back at the group.
Okay. So you
not trying to make a distraction, just trying to tell them something's up.
You throw this down and it's a stone. It's 30 feet. It's not that hard. As you throw it and it clanks off the wall and hits the ground by the group, kind of signaling Chemic that something's wrong. I am going to roll perception checks here because it's not that far away and it's down a tunnel, so it kind of echoes.
Oh, she's in trouble, guys.
I need to make 5 perception checks.
Do you have 5 D20s at your disposal?
I have 12 D20s at my disposal.
Good.
Only 12.
Good lad.
Hell, 12 was in my travel bag I used for the week.
Look, I don't need that many D20s.
I mean, 12 is just what I see in front of me right now, not to mention what's in my bag.
So as you throw those stones, you hear like a questionable growl coming from behind you. As you look up over your shoulder and you see 4 heads peeking up from their drink. And like very slowly, it begins to like walk towards the entrance, towards the tunnel where the sound of stones came. And as it does, it's like you can feel the weight of this thing as like the ground beneath it sort of trembles with each step. And once it breaks about this threshold right here, it stops and the head's lowered down right behind Mia. As the group now sees these 4 reptilian-like heads, one of them being Dai's, just staring down at you.
Like it can see us?
Like it can see you.
So say if we had time, I would like to mold Earth and get us all the fuck into a pocket. That ain't gonna happen.
And it just sits there and just watches all of you.
I'm holding my breath for the record.
I
want to watch back.
am going to use mold Earth while not moving, because I could just wiggle my fingers. Maybe.
What Earth are you molding? You're not in
There's
contact
brick
with
all
any
around.
Earth at the moment. It's all brick around you.
Okay, well, can I see dirt outside?
From
The
where
sand?
you can't see it from where you're standing right now, because all you're seeing is these heads, and then you don't even see Mia because Mia's invisible.
Well, yes. Oh.
They just keep staring at you intently.
You know what? If they're not moving, I'm not gonna move.
Like one head goes right next to Mia and just sits there sniffing the air.
Don't
Double checking real
Aren't.
quick how long I can hold my breath.
think it's your constitution score.
Number of minutes equal to 1 plus their con modifier.
Looking good so
Oh
far.
no, my con modifier went down. I can
No!
hold my breath for 3 minutes.
As another head lowers behind Mia.
God damn.
And it starts sniffing as well.
Get the fuck out of there.
And you see it go forward and bump.
Fuck.
Mia, you stumble forward a little bit. Can I get I'm going to give you a straight D20 roll here to see if the invisibility holds, because that technically wasn't an attack.
17.
17. With the 2 heads that are present, you stumble forward a little bit, and the head that was next to you just turns and looks dead at you. As it just slowly like opens its mouth. And kind of like what a cat does when it starts like questioning if it's going to eat something or it doesn't want to be caught, just as that slow movement as like the mouth just opens wide and just starts like looming over you.
I'm prepping something just in case.
Yeah, I don't think there's any possible way that I'm gonna be able to outrun this thing. So I'm staying put, and I've got a reaction ready to go if I need it, but I'm not taking any actions.
What about the rest of you?
Can't see Mia, so I have no idea what it's doing.
I am going to... I mean, if we see the heads distracted, by something. Kamek's putting 2 and 2 together.
You see one of the heads distracted as it has its mouth wide open, looming over a section, just slowly going down.
Rojan, I have a very important question that will determine what I do.
Sure.
The fancy gin blade I've got.
Yes.
Does it lightsaber with the element whenever I draw it?
Yes, it does.
Okay, then we're not pulling that thing out.
It's like the moment you draw the blade, it lightsabers out with whatever element is
that's
imbued
kind
in
of
it.
what I figured. I'm like, no, don't need to be that guy standing in a dark hallway with the freaking glow
With the
stick.
torch. Yeah.
Hey, when the fuck did you get a lightsaber?
It's not a lightsaber. It's a gin blade. It's
a gin blade, but it rotates between a couple elements of my choosing.
And the blade itself will crackle with that energy when it's active.
Yeah, so pulling out like a blade that is fire damage is going to be like pulling out a giant flaming sword.
Yep, just shining a
You
flashlight
have a
down a
lightsaber.
hallway.
I don't care what anyone says. That's a fucking lightsaber.
Now that I think about it, Druids wasn't here for that episode.
It was the best analogy for exactly what it will do. What's like,
Darth Vader down a dark hallway just activates the lightsaber.
I'm like, man, I don't want to be that target.
All right. Is anyone taking any actions here? Now is the time to do anything.
We can pretty much deduce that it's trying to eat something from looking at it.
It looks like it's just like bringing its mouth down over something.
How far away is it from us?
It's about 30 feet.
All right, I'm hucking my boomerang at it.
Okay, make that attack roll.
As soon as she attacks, I want to use a reaction.
Okay, what's your reaction?
I want to adjust position
Okay.
on Mia and move her. I won't be able to move her far, but I can at least move her out of the way of the mouth and the teeth.
You have to see her in order to cast that spell?
There's nothing there for you to focus on.
That's a 25.
25 will hit this creature.
All right. And when she lets go of the boomerang, she's like, incoming. Oh, that's max damage, bitch. That's 12 points of bludgeoning damage to the closest head.
Give me a sec here.
It doesn't say I have to see them.
Okay. I'm gonna make a rule and say you have to see them because there's no way you can adjust position with something that isn't there.
But I know.
You said 12 damage?
Ruled.
12 bludgeoning.
All right, as your boomerang just flies and just cracks this thing in the side of the head, it's going to get disadvantage on a bite attack here on Mia.
Oh,
Mia, it barely misses as this boomerang flies as it's coming down with its jaw, and it cracks it in the head to where it just bites off to the side of you. And the moment it does that, it kind of just whips its head down the hallway, and just all 5 heads roar out in frustration.
Yeah, I like as I catch my boomerang, I just slam it to the ground and I just look at it like, what?
What, bitch?
And I think this is where we are going to have to end for this week because we cannot do this combat in a half hour.
No.
I mean, try us. No.
No, I need sleep. I have work in the morning in like 5 hours.
So that will do it for us tonight. We're going to just end a little bit early as we are not going to be able to go into this full combat scenario tonight, but we will have it kicking off next week.
I can feel my heart beating.
Oh, that's what I could have done. Oh well. Next time.
But that is going to do it for us this week. Thank you so much for everyone for tuning in. This is not the only show that we do here on this channel. Coming up on Saturday is another episode of Wayward Wanderers, which is our Pathfinder 2 Extinction Curse campaign run by Azarin.
No, this
Yeah, it
this
is.
Saturday is you guys again.
No, we
We
switched. Remember?
no, everything flipped.
We swapped so you can do 2 in a row. Because normally,
All right, let's talk about
past weekend.
Let's talk about this offline, because I was under the impression we were just switching Saturdays, but we'll get with you afterwards. So it's either going to be an episode of Wayward Wanderers, which is the Pathfinder 2 Extinction Curse campaign, or it'll be Withered Wastes. Keep an eye out on Twitter. We'll announce that. Up on Monday is another episode of Tricorn Isles. And then we'll be back here again on Tuesday for another episode of Destiny Forged. If this is your first time here, or if you came in late, this is we have all of our episodes, all of our one-shots, holiday specials, all the shenanigans over on our YouTube channel, so you could check them out over there. But for now, we are going to head on out. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in, and we will see you on Saturday.